Good evening, everyone. Let's begin this evening with energization exercises. For a moment, let's just close our eyes and gaze uplifted at the point between the eyebrows. Equal weight on both the feet. And let's begin with a prayer. O Infinite Spirit, recharge my body with thy cosmic energy. Recharge my mind with thy concentration. Recharge my soul with thy ever new joy. O eternal youth of body and mind, abide within me forever and forever. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti. First exercise, double breathing with palms touching. Calf recharge, left side, tense. Relax as we come down. 2 more times. Ankle rotation. One direction 3 times. Another direction 3 times. Right calf, tense with a will, relax and feel. 2 more times. Ankle rotation. Left calf and forearm, tense. Gradually hold the tension. Relax gradually and feel. Thigh and upper arm both together. Tense, tense. Hold and relax and feel. 2 more times each. Calf and forearm. Relax. Thigh and upper arm. Relax. Let's try and focus as much as possible on those body parts. Right side. Relax. Thigh and upper arm. Relax 2 more times each. With full concentration and willpower, then only the energy will flow and we will recharge the part. Both the cuffs and forearms together. Tense, tense, tense. Relax and feel. Thighs and upper arms. Tense. Relax. 2 more times each. Left side of the buttock. Left side of the chest together. Squeeze the muscles. Relax and feel. Right side. Relax. Left. Right. Left. And right. Back recharge, starting with the lower back, left side. Tense the muscles. Hold. Relax and feel. Right. Relax. 2 more times each. Greater the will, greater the flow of energy. Middle back. Three times each. Upper back. Shoulder rotation. Rotating the shoulder blades from forward to backward 3 times and backward to forward 3 times. Throat recharge. Pull the muscles in. Relax 2 more times. Left side of the neck, right, alternating, tensing and relaxing 3 times each. Back side of the neck, pull the chin to the chest. Tense the muscles. Relax and feel 2 more times. Neck rotation with medium tension. 3 times one direction. 3 times another direction. Medium tension in the neck. Now, without any tension, neck rotation. 3 times each side. Okay, spinal exercises. First one, spinal recharge. Spinal rotation with the natural curvature of the spine. We will rotate from the base 3 times one direction, 3 times another, side to sides, stretch. Spinal adjustment at the base of the spine, going one by one, vertebra by vertebra. Upper spinal twist. Skull tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Release all the tension from all the sides, top, side, bottom. Scalp massage with the fingertips. Move the scalp in circular motion, releasing any tension anywhere in the scalp area. Medulla massage. First 3 fingers at the base of the skull. Rotate and hold the tension and relax. 2 more times. Bicep recharge. Starting with left. Tense, tense, tense. Relax and feel right. Concentrate. Use your willpower and send the energy and feel the relaxation. 20-part body recharge. All the body parts together once. Double inhale, hold the tension and relax and feel. We'll start from the foot, left foot tense, relax, right foot tense, relax, left calf tense, relax, left thigh, left calf, right calf, left thigh, right, left buttock, right, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, left forearm, right, left upper arm, right, left side of the chest, right, left side of the neck, right, front of the neck, back of the neck, and relax. Now we will hold the tension and release. We'll hold the tension from bottom to top and release top to bottom. Let's do it. Left foot, right, left calf, right, left thigh, right, left buttock, right, lower abdomen, upper, left forearm, right, left upper arm, right, left side of the chest, right, left side of the neck, right, front of the neck, back of the neck. Vibrate the body, hold the tension and release the tension from the neck, from the chest, from arms, stomach, buttocks, thighs, calves, and feet. And again, double inhale, hold the tension in the entire body, and relax. Weight lifting from front. Do it with joy and willingness. Elbows touching. Weight pulling from the side. Pull, hold, push. Pull, push. Pull, tension, relax and push. Arm rotation, big circles first, and making it smaller, smaller circles, holding the tension. Relax and other side. Great. Weight pulling from front. Pull, push, pull, and push. Finger recharge. Opening up the fingers 10 times, down to the side, in front, and top. 4-part arm recharge. Single arm raise, lift the weight up, relax and feel right side. Relax 2 more times each. Concentrate, feel, and relax. To the side, push the weight. Let your arm come near your ear. Okay, walking in place. Raise your legs as high as possible. And smile. With joy, we walk together towards freedom. Okay, few more steps before we start running in place. Okay, slowly catch your breath. Next exercise, fencing. Arm rotation, large circle. Another direction. Stomach recharge, first one. Throw the air out. Pull the stomach in. Hold the breath. Next one, throw the air out. Pull and push the stomach with breath hold while holding the breath. Third one, churn the stomach from left to right, right to left while holding the breath. Throw out first. Okay, first 3 exercises. Calf recharge, left side. Ankle rotation. 3 times one direction, 3 times another. Right side, calf recharge. Tense the muscles while getting back. Relax and feel. Ankle rotation, right side. Hip rotation, as if you're making a circle on the ground 3 times. One direction on left side, another direction, right side. Okay, last exercise, double breathing without any tension. Let's just focus at the point between the eyebrows and do 3 to 5 times at your own pace. Fully relaxing the body, letting go of any tension, negativity from it. And double inhalation, bringing all the cosmic energy, positivity within. Let's do this 2 to 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I now would like to invite Anil, who is going to lead us into today's Bhagavad Gita Satsang. Welcome, Anil.
Thank you. Good evening, friends. Thank you, Anandita. Let's begin the satsang with invoking the presence of Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Vasudevaya. Let us now offer this devotion to Vasudeva by offering a prayer together. Let's pray. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great Gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswar Ji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, dear Swami Ji, we humbly bow to you all. Divine Mother, great gurus. We offer our devotion. We offer our heart's love. We offer our life at thy holy feet. Use us as instruments to share thy joy, peace, and harmony with all whom we meet. We are thine. Be thou ours. Om Shanti. Let's take this chant into our meditation. The words to this chant is simple. I want only thee, Lord, thee, only thee. 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 I want Let us now tense the whole body with a double breath. Vibrate, exhale. Once again, inhale, tense, vibrate, hold, and exhale. One last time, inhale, vibrate, exhale, and relax completely. Now scan your body, check your posture, relax the body, keeping your spine straight, looking at the point between the eyebrows. Let us calm our minds by practicing 3 to 4 rounds of even count breathing at our own pace. Inhaling through the nostrils, holding the breath, and exhaling to the same count. And after that, let us practice any technique of meditation until 7:20. Good evening, friends. Good evening, those joining online. It's a wonderful Thursday evening. What a beautiful tradition we have to come together like this. And I would invite your participation by sharing your thoughts and your energies in today's satsang. And, I would like to begin by sharing why I chose this verse, which is from chapter 3, verse 13. Because there was one keyword here, food. And I chose this because many of us are right now going through the 9-day vitalizing and cleansing diet of Masters, which is in the book How to Achieve Glowing Health and Vitality. And I myself did that diet a few days ago. So it was kind of, I was getting drawn to take up this verse, and I would invite you to, participate with your energies, and we'll see how we can. Draw or explore this verse, because a story comes to mind of Chaitanya, who was such a scholarly person, who had a mind of such brilliance. He had this. His mind was very logical, and he could interpret the scriptures beautifully. There was this one instance where, being a scholar of this nature, he was riding a boat with one person, and this other person has spent his he is little Chaitanya is still a young man, and this other person told Chaitanya that he spent his whole life in interpreting the Nyaya philosophy, which is all about logic. And Chaitanya says, I have also done that. I have a treatise of my own. And he started reading his. And this other man, just burst into tears, saying, how beautiful is your treatise. And I have spent my whole life. I might as well not publish this because yours is so beautiful. And Chaitanya immediately throws his treatise into the water. He had no attachment to what he was doing. And a man of this stature, this caliber, he then goes to Gaya, and he enters the Vishnupad temple, and upon seeing the footprint of Vishnu, he has a vision of Krishna, and he goes into such ecstasy that he cannot begin to even share the teachings of the scriptures, because every time he wants to, and the only thing that he wants to is share about Krishna, and every time he thinks about Krishna and starts sharing about Krishna, he goes into ecstasy. He cannot speak anymore. So the school that he used to run, he closed it because he could not teach in that sense, and he became a great bhakta. All he was doing was, with his friends, he would chant all night singing the name of Lord Krishna, and he would spend his days like this. And one fine day, this other scholar, a great scholar, very well respected scholar from Kashmir, comes, and he hears about Chaitanya. He hears that he is such an intelligent young man, and he believes that he is wasting his life simply chanting and doing nothing. He has such a scholarly mind, and he comes to him and he says, I will teach you. I will teach you how to interpret the scriptures. And he begins interpreting one of the lines, and he gives about 25 interpretations of one verse. And Chaitanya is very impressed, and he says, wow, that's wonderful, let me try. And he starts and he gives 90 more interpretations of the same verse. Such was his caliber, but still he spent his days singing and dancing, and taking the name of Krishna. And this man who came to take up Chaitanya as his disciple said, oh, take me as your disciple. And both of them started singing the name of Krishna, and that's how they spent their life. But anyway, why I'm saying that is, this verse, I'll read the verse. Spiritually minded people, offering up the food they eat to its source in divine energy, the Devas, incur no sin. Those, however, who make no such offering, eating only for taste and pleasure, are verily feeding on sin. So, there could be a very straightforward interpretation of the scripture. We are all eating, we are all consuming food, and how are we doing what we are doing is very straightforward, isn't it? Gita is so accurate in its dispensation of this wisdom from Krishna. But I thought, that's why I thought I would invite you to help explore this line, because food is something that we all eat. We all have to sustain our body, so we consume food. And in this case, as Krishna is saying, that who indulge for the sake of taste and pleasure are verily feeding on sin. And we can think about it in this way. There are saints, all of these masters, barring Babaji maybe, who eats very rarely, but everybody would consume food, and so do we. And what is the difference between us eating food and indulging in sin versus them not so? Because they are offering the food that they eat, because a saint can make what can be impure or sinful and convert that into very pure, sattvic, and uplifting, elevating act, if we can offer what we are doing from an energy perspective. Because it's not, for us to hold something. If it's on the material world, we can say, I am holding this, I possess this. It's easy for us to understand that. But when we talk about energy, we can't really place a finger. Those who do not yet have the experience of the awareness of energy in our body, and we all have that to some extent, because we started with energization exercises. What a great tool we have to feel the energy in our body. But Swamiji interprets this line by stating that if we can offer, or if we can become more aware of the energy, because science has proven this. In this age of Dwapara, science has proven that matter is simply energy. There is nothing real about what we see, except that it is just a rate of vibration, and which differs from object to object. So we know that it is energy. But Swamiji says that if we can feel that energy, become more aware of that energy, and offer it from that perspective, whatever we are eating, because it could be the physical food that we're eating, it could be the mental food, that we have this expression, food for thought. We are also consuming so much emotional food, and at the base, at the fundamental aspect of everything that we consume, it is energy. And science has proven that, so there is no disputing that fact. But Swamiji says that if we can, the more we live in that awareness of energy, the sooner we will raise our consciousness. Because after all, when we meditate, when we put our mind here, wherever our mind is, energy flows to that area, and thereby naturally we are raising our consciousness. However, when we talk about the saint versus what we do, we verily and readily and easily get involved in eating food, and not offering it. It's not the way of Kali Yuga offering, where we put a plate of food on the altar and we say, I've done my job, I've offered to God. But when we are eating, we are thrilled with the experience of our taste buds. And Swamiji says, it's okay. Spiritually speaking, it is not unlawful or a crime to enjoy the food. In fact, Swamiji also told Master that, Master, I have this, I like good food. I like to enjoy good food. He said, don't worry about that. When ecstasy comes, everything goes. But we don't want to use that as an excuse to indulge in food. But what I'm trying to say is, as Swamiji interprets, whenever we eat food, when we enjoy the food through our taste buds, whatever we feel, that pleasure that we derive out of eating food, if we can use that and nurture the joy in our heart and offer that joy, whatever experience that we are feeling, if we concentrate that in our heart and offer it to God, then we are eating with God, you are eating in God, and you no longer have to necessarily indulge in sin. Because sin is a big word. Master said, never call yourself a sinner. If you do, that is the greatest sin. But I have there's a movie called Song of Bernadette. Have you watched that movie? It's a beautiful movie. I highly recommend you watch that movie. I watched it so many times, I practically can, tell all the lines of the movie. It's so beautiful. But why I'm saying that is, in this movie, this little Bernadette, has she's so devotional. She loves Christ so much that she has visitations from Divine Mother herself in flesh and blood, and Divine Mother asks her to dig up a well to create a spring from that particular spot. And this is in France, in Lourdes. Even now there is that well with, and the water has so much healing, healing happens through that water. But the point I want to make is, in that movie, when she's she's called by Divine Mother to come every day for a few days, and don't miss even a single day. And when she is going and she's kneeling and she's praying to Divine Mother, she can see, but nobody else can see Divine Mother. And when she's doing that, people start laughing because she's digging up a well with her bare hands, upon Divine Mother's request. And people start laughing that she's gone mad. She's digging up the soil, and her hands are getting dirty, and Mother gets a little embarrassed, and she starts to pull away. But then obviously the water comes from there, because Divine Mother said that there will be a spring from that spot. But when she's doing all these things, there's a lot of attention that is drawn to that small town, and the authorities are initially happy. But then there are some who say that, if she can do that at that spot, she can do wherever she wants to, and that will become a problem for us in the future to govern and police everybody. But anyway, then what they do is they start making psychological evaluation of, say, little Bernadette. Because they want to establish her mental fitness. So they ask her some questions, and she gives, proper answers as is expected from a mentally stable person. And one of the questions that they ask is, who is a sinner? And the reply that she gives is quite succinct, quite hitting the point very nicely. She says, those who love to do evil, you know who love to do evil. And it is even highlighted in the movie that that's a beautiful answer, because she didn't say those who commit evil. If that was the case, all of us would be sinners. But those who love to do evil. So in that sense, if we can draw parallels to, you know if we love to indulge, because Swamiji gives this explanation of what a sin is. He says sin is nothing but ignorance, delusion of our ego identification. If we relate to ourselves as this physical body and as this ego motivated desires, likes and dislikes, that is a mistake. That is what we are referring to as sin, as Krishna is referring to as sin. But not necessarily all those things that are equated to being sinful. But the point is, let's now actually think about that word offer. If we can offer it to devas, in the verse it is written as devas, which we can also think of it as offering it to God, right? So how much do you want to offer? Because there's always a spectrum, right? If you look at Swamiji would often pray. For years he prayed to Divine Mother saying, let every thought of mine, let it be yours. That was his offering. He offered it completely, every single thought. After all, we know that thoughts are not individual but universally rooted. And for years that was his prayer. And then he thought that was not enough, and he said, let my every feeling be yours, to Master. And he went on to say, let my every action be yours. And he said, let every word that I write be yours. He offered everything completely. And in this offering, in the early days of Ananda, the temple in Ananda village got burned down initially. And when that got burned down, Swamiji would pray to Master and Divine Mother saying, I offered everything to you. I offered my whole heart to you. Did I do something wrong? Am I not in tune? Why did the temple burn down? Was it my attachment, my likes, or was it me that was doing it? Because I offered everything to you. If there is even a remote corner of my heart that is holding on, that has some attachment, I would do it all over again. Because I want only you, I have offered everything to you. And the moment he said that, Swamiji says, a tremendous wave of joy came upon him, and he could not hold his, there was so much bliss and joy in his heart that he was so happy. I mean, that was a validation from Divine Mother that no, it was not yours. There was so much that happens which we don't know why it happens. But then in that joy, he said, oh, in that case, why did you not take all the buildings? Why not only the temple? That was his offering. He gave everything to Divine Mother. He did not hold back. And we can go, if we can go to that extent, as Krishna says, live your life with your mind absorbed in me all the time. And many may not be able to do that. We may not be able to do that. And if we don't, Krishna offers a second offer. He says, if you cannot do that, do yoga, practice the technique of concentration. Even then you can come to me. And maybe many still may not be able to do that. And he gives a further offer, saying, this is offers from Krishna. Like, it's a bargain here. He says, if you can't do that, everything that you do, think about me. Keep me in your mind when you're doing whatever you're doing. If you cannot do yoga also. And many people say, oh, that is still difficult for me. Then finally he says, okay, if you cannot even do that, give me your intentions. Do whatever you want to do, give me your intentions at least. And in one of the translations by Sir Edmund, I forget his last name, Arnold, yeah. In his interpretations, he interprets that line as, give me your failures also. Give me, if you cannot give 1 2 3 4, give me your failures. I will accept that, and you still can come to me. All you have to, it's that, we're basically talking about, the verse is so simple, it's so straightforward, but we're actually talking about attunement here. Our offering of complete self, like Swamiji, we can go to any of these extents. We can do my every single thought, feelings, actions, and words, to our failures, just our intentions. I mean, that's the least we could do. I mean, we can't bargain any further. But you can work with the spectrum of offering in to the degree that we can, and to the best of our ability. We can do the best we can, right? Because a story that comes to mind is, recently Spiritual Renewal Week was concluded in Ananda village. If you haven't tuned into it, I would highly recommend and urge you to tune into the talks of Spiritual Renewal Week. And I heard this story of Shabari and Rama from Acharya Murali, and that's a sweet story. We all know some stories of Shabari, and in this case, Shabari, who came upon this man who she took as her guru, and he accepted her as his disciple, and his name was Matanga. And she was so devoted to her guru that when her guru finally decided that it was time for him to leave the body, she didn't want to live anymore if her guru is not around her, because all she was doing was serve her guru, offered everything to her guru. She had nothing of her own. She would clean the ashram, she would pick the berries, she would cook, she would serve, she would wash clothes. She would do that. That was her offering to the guru, completely single hearted devotion. But when her guru was about to leave his body, he had this boon that fire would not hurt him. And he was walking into a big, every day he would create a huge fire, and he would do his prayers and chanting and yagna. And finally, when he knew that it was time for him to leave the body, he would walk into the fire, but the fire would create wings around him, and he would not touch him, because he had to give the permission. That was his boon. He had to give the permission to the fire. And as he was walking, he was happily walking, because fire could not harm him. But Shabari also ran towards him, because she also wanted to give up her life if her guru was not going to be with her. But for her, fire would cause her pain, so she could not get any closer. But then when finally Matanga says, okay, fire, I give you my permission, you can consume me. In an instant, fire consumes him and becomes ash. But before that, he tells Shabari, no, this is not your time to leave your body. Rama will come, you need to serve him, and then you will get your liberation. Then you can come and merge with me. So then she is waiting for Rama. For years she waits for Rama. And then she has nothing to offer, because the guru, Matanga, tells Shabari that you need to serve Rama. When he comes, he will come, and you have to serve him, and in your service, you will then be liberated and you will come to me. And she knew, she obviously didn't have to think anymore. She knew Rama is going to come and she is going to serve. But how is she going to serve? Her service was to pick wild berries from the forest, and these berries have a reputation of being extremely sweet, but one in a few. Many berries would be extremely sour, but there'll be one berry among them all which will be extremely sweet and delicious. That was the speciality of this berry. And she didn't know which would be sweet and which would be not. So she would always bite into that. And this berries were so sour that you would almost shake with that bitterness. And she would eat, she would shake, throw them off. This is how the story was narrated by Murali. So I'm just retelling the story. And she would do that. And finally, when she gets to that berry, which is so sweet, she would put that into her basket. Every day she would do that. Every day she would go through that pain of, tasting those extremely bitter berries. And when she finds the good one, she would put that in the basket, which were all half eaten. And finally, Rama doesn't come. Days they don't. He doesn't come. Weeks, months, years he doesn't come. Years later, when she's sitting in her little ashram all by herself, there's this man who comes, and the way I'll not go into the description of Rama, we're falling short of time. But then when he does come, she knows instantly this radiant figure is Rama, and she offers these half-eaten berries to Rama. And with Rama, there are saints and sages and gnanis and yogis. Everybody are following Rama, and they are all like, they get shocked, half eaten. In Indian tradition, you don't give what you have eaten offer to the Lord. They think that's a sacrilege. You're doing great injustice. But then Rama immediately swoops up all of them and he gorges on them. He feasts on the berries. And when he does that and he gives back the basket, in that exchange of receiving the basket, her hand touches Rama's hand, and in that instant she gets into the astral world and merges into in with her guru Matanga. But why I narrated that story is the offering that we make, the offering of our energy is so important. It could be a very simple offering because God is not impressed by our offering through extremely sophisticated prayers. Like, in autobiography, Master writes about these three hermits from the stories of Tolstoy. If you remember, these three hermits are so simple, so childlike, and they are holy. And people know that they are holy men. And the bishop, the local bishop of the area, hears about these three men, and they had a very, very simple prayer. Their prayer was, because there were three people, they would pray to Jesus saying, "We are three, you are three, have mercy upon us." That's it. We are three, you are three, because Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. That was their idea of God. So we are three, you are three, have mercy upon us. They would pray all the time. They had no time to read the scriptures. They were almost, I guess, they were illiterate also. But then this bishop hears about them and then comes to the village and he says, because they are holy men, I will teach you. I will teach you how to pray. From the liturgy, he teaches them exactly how the prayer should be. And then he teaches them, they're so grateful that they got a true prayer now, and then they can do this prayer going forward. And then the bishop is happy that he did something good for them. And then he leaves that island. It's an island village, by the way. And as he is leaving, going back, he's in his boat and he's somewhere midway. And then he sees that these three men come running, and they're running across this river. They're running on water. And they come closer to this bishop and he says, "Oh, your lordship, I forgot what you said. I forgot the prayer. Can you teach me again?" And this man, bishop says, "Never mind. You go back to what you were doing. Your prayer is working for you. Don't worry about it." So that it could be as simple as that, because God knows what we want. He listens to our heart. And the offering that we are talking about is this energy of our heart. Even as Swamiji said, the joy that we feel in our heart, kind of blow the flames of that feeling. Whenever you have any pleasure, anything that you can derive from this world, let it be a feast and an offering to that energy and give that to God. Like this other saint, I forget the name of the saint, who says that he is so much in bliss that not only in the chapel when he is offering prayers, but he is so much in bliss that even if he picks up a blade of grass from the ground, that is as good as for him, as good, it gives him the same level of bliss that he would feel when he is praying in the chapel. I mean, you look at the spectrum. At one end, there can be like Master. Master himself shared a story that when he found God, he told God, "God, I've prayed to you all these years. I have chanted, I've meditated. Why did you not come sooner?" God said to Master, "There were still a few desires in your heart. When they were all gone, now I'm here." You see, our heart has to be clean for God to come in full in full force. But doesn't mean God doesn't come if we are who we are right now, who is not exactly clean. We all have our likes and dislikes. But Swamiji gives us a incentive or encouragement that even for a moment we open the window of our heart, even a little bit, God will still enter. But that ray of light that comes and expresses Himself will be that much only. But it depends upon us how much we want to offer, right? I'll just close. We went slightly over time. I'll just close with a couple more stories which are so beautiful in the simplicity of our offering. You know, there is this man with master. He was his disciple. Hello, Aditya. Aditya just came in. So this man's name was A.B. George, and he was a disciple of Master. And his when he first came to Master, it's so funny, he didn't know who Master was, and the way he would engage with Master was he would sit on the chair, he would rest his leg on the armrest of the chair, he would smoke a cigar, and he would tell dirty jokes to Master. I mean, but then you would imagine an avatar, somebody is coming and sharing dirty jokes. You would reprimand him or teach him or put him in his place. But Master never did that, apparently. Swamiji says that Master laughed with him, he hugged him. He basically, because he was seeing the heart of this man. You know, what was he offering? He was offering his love, albeit simple, childlike. Never mind. But God is watching our heart, right? Because there's another man who was a spastic with Master. He was so simple, he could barely speak, absolutely not philosophical. And Master told the other disciples that that man, he is so close to salvation. And these other people were really surprised. And they said to Master, well, that must be a very simple devotion then, Master. Master said, with a blissful smile, Swamiji says, yes, that's the kind of devotion that God loves. Simple, childlike devotion. It doesn't have to be sophisticated. You just have to be one pointed. Like Swamiji uses the analogy, threading a needle. If you want to pass the thread through the eye of the needle, if every single strand is pointed in all different directions, you will not be able to succeed. That is devotion. Being one pointed, both our mind and our heart being one pointed and offering everything that we have at the feet of our gurus. And we might ask, because one person actually asked this to Swamiji. Oh, it's so difficult to know what we should do. What is God's will? It's so difficult to know. And Swamiji simply looked at that person with a straight face and she said, no, it's not. You know exactly what to do. You just have to do it. We all know what to do. We all know what to do in terms of offering what we have to God. But we just have to do it. Be it sadhana, be it satsang, be it seva, be it supporting the work, be it studying, be it engaging in everything that the master has given us. He's given us so many techniques. Everything can take us to God if we can offer it with the right spirit. Spirit is more important than the act itself, right? So on that note, I will close, but I do want to share. I think Mumbai did this, no? The 10 portals of joy cards. Yeah. So, I picked up a random card today, thinking, let's see what will be the portal of joy today, especially, and it fits in just perfectly with what the verse was. And this is door number 4. Talking about doors, I just have to share one more story because there's a joy password at the end of this. Okay, I would recommend you use this because this is so beautiful. It's so easy to tune in and it helps us to offer ourselves. Talking about doors, when Dhyanaji, as you all know, moved to Pune. She's living most of her time in Pune. And when we finished settling into the house, I was one of the first ones to go knock the door of all settled house. And Dhyanaji, instead of opening the door, she said, "What's the password?" I didn't know there was a password to enter. I just said Jai Guru, and she said, "Right password, enter." But even for all of these doors, this is door number 4. Okay, and listen to these words. This door, portal of joy, is read or listen to something inspiring. The gifts of the great spiritual teachers are abundant, but we pass them over in the midst of our busy lives. If you take only 5 minutes each day to immerse yourself in the wisdom from enlightened souls, you will be laying a foundation of joy that nothing can destroy. And the password to this is I attune. So let's offer our light to God and Gurus and through this outward symbol of Aarti now. So I'd invite you all to please rise for Aarti. Let us now offer ourselves as a channel to share these blessings of the Masters, to share these vibrations, to share the healing energy to all those who are in need, visualizing them at the point between the eyebrows, surrounding them in Divine Mother's light. And sharing this light to the whole world. Let us offer a prayer together. Divine Mother, Thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all Thy children. Manifest Thy healing presence in all bodies, in all minds, and in all souls. Om. Om. Om Shanti Shanti. Okay, do we have any announcements?
Well, thank you for a joyful, wonderful satsang. I think we are all uplifted in that joy. And thank you all for joining. And yes, we will see you this Sunday for our satsang at 6 p.m.